All right, you're watching JM Pro TV online. My name is Andrew, and I'm here with Addriane at the Beloved House. Thanks so much for joining us and speaking with us a little bit about what kind of preparations are being taken for Hurricane Florence, which is coming in.
So right now we are gathering information for folks as far as what the shelter options are. Our goal is to get as many people as we can indoors, and so 2 of the shelters have opened Code Purple starting today until after the storm.
What is Code Purple?
Code Purple is when typically it's in the wintertime when the weather gets down below 32. Shelters will open for more space. And so the VRQ has agreed to open Code Purple status, meaning that they'll open for they have extra beds. And so they're opening for men, and the rescue mission is opening for women and children. And so we are actually heading out really soon to go do some camp outreach with people. We're going to go down to the river and just make people aware of the storm if they're not even aware of it, because when folks live outside, they don't have social media a lot of times, and if they don't access resources, they may not even be aware of how serious this is. And so we want to make sure that we provide information for people regarding shelter and what their options are. We also have, we've been collecting some donations from folks in the community to give to people who are either in need of gear to survive through this storm, but we also know that after the storm is over, a lot of folks who are camping near the river, if they don't leave, or if they're in the hospital and they don't get out until after the storm, or whatever the case may be, they may need some supplies after the storm. So we're just today and tomorrow we're kind of collecting information from folks so that we can contact them throughout the weekend, and we're giving information about the shelters and some supplies as well.
And so these shelters, they're opening up more beds than normal. Who is allowed to use them or have access to these resources?
So the VRQ typically accepts men, and for this purpose, they are not requiring IDs, which is a big thing for our folks as well. And queer and trans folks are also welcome into the shelters, which is not an everyday occurrence. So they're being pretty much open to whoever. And we're also working locally with some churches as far as special case scenarios. So a single father typically does not have a shelter to go into on any given day. But for this situation, we've got some churches on board that are potentially going to open up their doors for that.
And how long will these shelters be open for?
They will be open until the storm is over and until it's safe to go outside. And they also are not requiring people to leave. Like usually on a normal day, folks who stay in the shelter has to leave fairly early in the morning, typically 7 or 8 o'clock. And then they go out and do job applications and that kind of thing. So with this storm, they are not requiring people to leave. I think they are actually requiring people that they stay. So when the weather is bad, we predict Sunday, Monday, and potentially Tuesday, whoever stays in the shelter are gonna stay there.
So Hurricane Florence is a Category 3 storm at this point, and I've heard that we'll start to see some effects of that as of later today, but it'll continue into the following week. So we can expect that the shelters will be open and have resources at least through next week.
I would say probably at least through Tuesday, with Code Purple status.
And are these intended to serve people who are coming from out of state? And the resources that you're collecting here, is this a response that is locally focused or also for people coming in from out of state or from the coast?
Yeah, so our hope is that, I think probably most of our hotels are already booked at this point. There are some spaces where people who are staying in their car can potentially park through the storm. we, the shelters are. We want to make sure that the people who live here are definitely taken care of, and I can't speak for the shelters because we are not hosting a shelter here. I don't see them turning anybody away, but I think that they will make accommodations for whoever needs some space, as well as the gear. If people come in and they need a tent, if they don't have anywhere to go, then we'll gladly give them a tent.
And so, can you speak some about the resources you're gathering here and what needs you might still have, how you're looking for community participation also?
Yeah, so we, as far as material things, tarps, tents, backpacks, sleeping bag, plastic, string for the tarps, really want to create good shelter for folks, and this is going to be a lot of rain and a lot of heavy rain. So, hanging tarps is a really good thing to be able to do for people. We have put out on social media, if people, that are not from Asheville, if they want to donate funds, they can do that through belovedasheville.com. We've got some sleeping bags and garbage bags, tarps, backpacks. Tents are a huge thing. Our outreach bus is fully stocked with first aid supplies. So our street medic team will be going out from now until whenever we need to provide first aid supplies and that sort of thing. So people are welcome to drop off supplies at 39 Grove Street. And again, from now until, we're going to need supplies even after the storm has passed. So,
because Beloved House is something that's active, not just during emergency time periods, but
right.
through other times also.
Yeah, we do this a lot. This is one of our big needs as far as materials go, are the same kind of supplies. And
regarding this particular, the hurricane specifically, you'll have a sort of a flyer of information. Can we expect to see these around different places? And can people who have access to maybe businesses or windows or places people might see it, are there places where people can find this information and share it?
Yes, and we also have, in addition to this, the shelter options, we also have a gear needs list. So we can put some of those around town. We will put this up on our Facebook page. It's just Beloved Asheville on Facebook. So social media would be a good way to find that as well.
Great. Well, thank you so much for speaking with us today. Love getting the information and being able to share it out.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, this has been a JM Pro production, and been speaking with Addriane here at the Beloved House. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.